Hello and welcome to another tutorial by me, Hamster Hill. This one is going to be on how to make doors that'll open only when you have a key or something like that. So we're continuing on with the same file we used last time, and so if you didn't do the last tutorial, then you're going to have to catch up on that, or I believe I will give you a link to the file, but it's probably better to do it yourself so that you know all that stuff as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this room and we're going to Shift D, copy it over here, and then rotate it around, and that seems good. And if you copy this door here, you may end up having problems with the animation and stuff, so it's probably just better to make a new one by grabbing these points here and pressing Shift D to copy them, and then press P to separate them. So you just have those sides of the door, then select it, go in and select each of the things and make a side of it. And of course the underneath one. Alright, so now we have another door. That was pretty quick. And what we need to do is we need to change the material. Don't change the color because it's linked to the walls. We want to add a new material for it. So click here, add new material, and we want to change that to a yellow color, and because that's going to be our sort of it's a little off the side. That's going to be our like color coding thing, is all the yellow doors are going to be opened by keys. So we'll just move that over here, see, put it on our plane. Yeah, it's on enough, doesn't matter. So now what we want to do is we want to add all the code and stuff to this that we had in our other door. We'll actually do that later. First we need to do the animation, sorry. So make sure in frame 1, press I, location. Then you want to go press up about 3 times, so you're at frame 30, then grab, move it down. It doesn't really matter if your animations end up being the same or different. And location again. So now we have our full animation of it, the door sliding up and down. And now what we'll do is we'll add our key. So click somewhere, say over here, and press space, add mesh UV sphere. Yeah. And we want to go to side view, and you could have added whatever you want, but I just added a sphere because spheres are pretty cool. Mine's not going to look anything like a key because modeling a key takes a little bit of time, and this tutorial's jam-packed. So I'm just going to leave it as a sphere floating in midair, and I'm going to change this to yellow, and I'm actually going to change it to shadeless as well, so it ends up looking like it's glowing, which is a pretty cool little effect. And now what we'll do is we'll add some code to it. First, what we want to do though, however, is the collision thing in Blender, you have to use the material of an object for the checking. So what you probably want to do is in here is change the material name of your cube to player, just so that everything knows that the material for that is reserved for the player. And then what we want to do is we want to go to our ball here. Now you can do this in the player, but I'm going to do it in the ball. If you select both of them and then go in here, you'll find that you get all the things for both of them, and you can link them, which is pretty cool. So we'll just minimize these, as I forgot to before, and we will add a thing in here called collision. And we want it to collide with the player property. This is in the sphere one, by the way, as you can tell here. And then what we want to do is we're going to connect it up to an actuator in our sphere, like so. And then we want to add an actuator for our sphere and an actuator for our player. And you want to connect those up as well, like that. So for the actuator and the player, you want to change it to a property one, and we want to add a property here, and we'll call it, say, yell key. Now you generally want to shorten things just because otherwise you'll be typing forever, and just copy the name of that. Oops. yell key, grab it, copy it, make sure it's an int, and you want to set it to 0, and then over here you want to make it assign to yell key, and you want to set the value to 1. Now, if you want to have it so that you can store more than one key, then you're gonna have to go add here. So yeah, but I only want it so you can hold one key at a time. And then what I want you to do is over here, I want to have it so that this, change it to edit object, and you want to have it so that it's end object, so it'll kill the key after you've collected it. Also, if you're doing it the way I have, where you only have one key, then you want to add a thing in here called property, and you want to connect these up, and you want to have it so that if property yell key, Control V to paste it in, is equal to 1, sorry, is equal to 0. So that means only when that has no keys it can pick up the key. So yeah, so that's all sorted. So what we want to do is just select your key now, and if you make it a ghost, then the player will go through it, but it will still do the collision checking and stuff, but the player will go through it when it already has a key, so it's not like an obstruction or something. So now what we need to do is we need to set up all the stuff for our door, and the way to do that is we will add a if we select our cube first and then select our door, you're gonna have to add a property called up again for this door, and we'll set it to 1. Make sure it's an integer, sorry, and set it to 1. And then what you want to do is, this is called cube 4, not door. It's good to name things so you know in here. And what we want to do is we want to add, we already added a sensor, we want to add a controller and actuator. Then you want to connect them up, and the sensor you want to set it to property, and you want to have it so if property up is equal to 1, and then you want to have it in this and you want to have this one here, set the property up to 0, and you also want to add another one in here which is motion, so we'll add another one. You want to set it to not motion. Oops. Yeah. You want to set it to IPO, and you want to change the last frame to 31, which is the last one in our animation, and you want to connect them. And then you also want to connect, add a sensor in here that's property, and you want to have that property if yell key is equal to 1. Connect this through here into that. So now if property yell key is equal to 1 and that's up, then it'll open. But we also want to add a third one, so it's not just when you collect the key, but it's also when you collide with the door. So click collision and change the property to player, and then connect them up like so. So now with all our thing all set up there, should, if we go into our camera and press P to play and just run into our button over here, hit that, go out here, go through there, grab our key, that all works fine, and then run into the door, and the door opens. Ta-da! So that's about it for this tutorial. You can experiment with that, do a few other cool things. You can have it so that you might need to collect more than one type of key to open a door or something. But yeah, have fun with that, and I will see you for the next one.